Alright, welcome back to another video and one more in the series of my half marathon training prep. So today's run was meant to be a 2-hour run, but I've been held up. My time has been a bit thrown off and I've been held up. So I'm only going to have probably just over an hour for a run. So in that time, I'm going to try and get close to 10 kilometres if I can. If not, then it's no biggie. I've got another couple of weeks to do big runs and I'll try and obviously push the pace a little bit on those. But what I have noticed over the last sort of few weeks, I mean, it's only been 4 weeks that I've been really training for this properly and 4 weeks that I've been doing these slow, lower heart rate runs. And what I have noticed is that by doing these runs, it's allowed me to increase my speed ever so slightly without my heart rate spiking a lot, which is a massive bit of progress for me as far as I can see. But with that being said, last week when I did my longer run, I managed to do 13.5 kilometres last week, and that was with a couple of stops. Not stops, I came down to a walk because I wanted to keep the heart rate low. This week I'm not going to do that, even though the route that I'm going to run on is quite hilly, so I'm probably going to spike my heart rate a few times. It doesn't fit in entirely with zone 2 training, because I'll probably spend a lot of time in zone 4. I want to make sure that I can run the full distance without having to stop at any point. So I've got a route mapped out in my head. I did have a longer route mapped out in my head. I'm probably not going to manage that in the time that I have available. I've got just over an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes available. It's absolutely pissing down in Scotland. It's typical Scottish weather. So I'm going to try and do some mid-run videos as well, in between heavy downpours, just to kind of give you a touch basis to where I'm at. But I'm going to just obviously go for that hour and 15 minutes. The last time I did only an hour, I managed 8.5 kilometres. So by what I'd hope for this week is that I can push a little bit more than that and get at least the 10 in that time is going to be my goal. So we'll see how it goes. I will do a bit of a touch base, as I say, mid-run, and then I'll do a bit of a debrief later on in the evening once I've got everybody settled and Cameron's in bed and I've managed to clean myself a bit, because I imagine I'm going to be a wet, sweaty mess by the end of this. So, but yeah, so the next time you see me, I'll be on the run. We'll see you there. Okay, so I'm about 30 minutes in. Heart rate's a wee bit higher than I would have liked. There's been a few hills, but I'm onto a fairly flat bit now, so the idea is here to keep the pace steady, try and get that heart rate back down again, and just kind of maintain that manageable pace. And the good news is, overall my pace per kilometre is quicker at lower heart rate. So last week it was something like 750, I think, a minute, 750 a kilometre, sorry, whereas this week it was just under 7, a couple of points just over 7, so overall much faster. So that's about 30 minutes in and I'm just under 5k, so I think for an hour 10k is definitely on the cards. Push that hour 15, hour 20, then yeah, I could be looking at maybe 12 kilometres again, so we'll see. But this has been the first break in the rain, and that's it starting to come back over again. So.
Time 35 minutes, distance 4.9.
I used to play football in that little patch of grass. I say play football, man. I used to sit around and watch because I was shit at football, but yeah, that's where I used to play, and I don't know how we ever managed to play a game there, because it was the least level piece of land ever. you had a massive advantage if you were playing on the downhill. It was easy to kind of get the ball moving, but if you were playing uphill you were fucked. So I had to make a wee pit stop. Nature called, so I had to take a wee pit stop in the local Tesco's. Lucky rain. But back on track now, so where I'm running now is fairly flat, so I should be able to maintain a relatively steady heart rate now for the last, I've only got about 20 minutes left, so if that, so I should be able to maintain this pace easy enough for the last wee bit. Last 10 minutes I might up it just a little bit, just to give myself a push, just try and get a few extra strides in if I can, a few extra kilometres, extra kilometres with me, maybe 1 extra kilometre or 2. Yeah, so, but that's the rain starting to come down again now, so, excuse me, it's quite weird being down all these little bits again. Like I've been down them in the car and stuff, but I've never really walked around these bits or ran around these bits since I was a tiny little kid. I think first year in high school, I think. It's quite mad because I can remember I used to be quite frightened to go around these bits, around these streets, because I used to get picked on quite a lot. And as a kid I got bullied quite a lot, so it's quite interesting being back down here. And when you're a kid, everything seems so much bigger, man. Everything seems huge. Whereas now as an adult, it's obviously just normal sized. A few of the gardens and stuff that I've seen that we used to play in seemed massive at the time, and they're just normal sized wee gardens. It's mad. Anyway, I've picked up the pace a wee bit now because I think I'm a wee bit behind. I wanted to hit 10k in an hour, and I'm a bit behind that, so I've picked up the pace a wee bit.
Time 1 hour. Distance 8.64 kilometers. Average pace 6 minutes 56 seconds per kilometer.
I'm not quite where I wanted to be, but I'm still happy with the split times. But I think on race day, not this pace that I'm running now, because I'm most of the last time I've got, but the pace I was holding before, that's sort of 6 minutes 50 per kilometre. I feel that's a good pace, and I feel like I can sustain that and maintain it for the whole half marathon. So I'll do another long run next week and see how the pace is on that, and we'll see what happens from there. Boom, I'm done. Quick change in the car. It's like a Superman in a phone box. So I just got just over the 10k, 1 hour and 9 I think it said, 1 hour 8, so not quite as much of a distance as I'd really hoped. I was hoping to get a little bit more, but I am super happy with the pacing. Cardio wise, no problem. The only thing I think was causing me any bother really was my legs, but that's the run done. I'm going to go and pick up Cameron now, and then I'll do a full debrief once I get home, get dried, get fed, and all that good stuff. So, see you then.
Alrighty, so that's us back in the house. The run is done. I've changed my pants, I've changed my socks because they were soaking. I've had a bit of a snack, and honestly, I'm feeling good. So that was just over 10k that I managed in an hour and 9. So I was looking back at my times over the last sort of few weeks. In the last 10k that I run, I've done 10 and a half. And it took me an hour and 7, so a wee bit slower than that. However, while that sounds like a bad thing, what I have to say is when I ran the 10 and a half k in an hour and 7 minutes, I was wasted. I was absolutely trashed at the end of it. I felt like I was really having to run hard. I felt like I was really having to push myself to make it, and it felt like a real slog. I got to the end of it and thought, my God, I couldn't go and do that again. I got to the end of this today and felt like I still had loads left in the tank. Like I felt like I could have easily gone out and ran the same race again. And I didn't feel like I was having to push myself as hard. I didn't feel like I was having to really kind of stretch myself. The last 10 minutes, 50 minutes, I kind of upped the pace a wee bit. Because as I say, I was on a bit of a time constraint. And I wanted to make sure I made it back in time to pick up Cameron from our Halloween party. But overall, that felt pretty damn good. The pace felt really good. I feel like I could keep that pace going definitely for another half hour on top of that. So that gets me to, like, you know, if I'm looking at distances, man, if 10k, so I've got 21k to run for a half marathon. 10k is just under halfway. So, you know, if I can do that in an hour, just over an hour, another half hour on top of that, you know, then definitely I think I can grind out the whole race, and I can probably do it in around about the sort of 2 hours, just 2 and a bit hours mark. If I can keep that pace nice and steady throughout the whole race, and my legs don't give up on me, then I feel like towards the end, if I know that I've got maybe 20 minutes to get to that sort of 2 hour-ish mark, then I could probably up the pace for that last 20 minutes and push. I'm fairly confident I can make that happen. So on today's performance, I'm super confident that I am going to definitely finish this half marathon. That was a big concern for me, is that I'm going to be able to finish, because while my cardio always seems to hold up, my legs seem to kind of struggle. So a couple of things that I am quite concerned about that I'm hoping won't be an issue on the day. I have got a bit of a niggle in my left quad and also a bit of a niggle in my left calf. So tonight, once I get Cameron settled and ready for her bed and all that kind of all said and done, I'm going to spend a bit of time kind of stretching those out and rolling them out on the foam rollers and just kind of trying to work out any niggles and any sore bits that are in there. Because I don't want that to be the limiting factor. I don't want that to be the thing that holds me back. I'm not overly concerned about it. I mean, I got to 10k before, or just under the 10k mark before it started to kind of twinge. So, I think I could probably run through it. I don't think it's going to pop. I don't think it's going to cause any serious problems. It's just a thing that's there. And because I've kind of had injuries in both of those areas before, I think maybe in my head subconsciously there's maybe a bit of fear there, and I don't want that to be the case. So, overall though, super happy with the performance of that run. It's not as long as last week's. Next week I'll definitely go for longer. I'm going to push for at least 16 or 17 kilometers next week. So I'm thinking that might, if I keep the really slow pace, if I really slow it down, if I can do that, it might take me around about the 2 hours mark, and then that leaves me then one longer-ish run to do before the main event. So. Feeling good, feeling confident. Legs are feeling much better this week than they did last week. When I ran 13.5 kilometres last week, my legs felt wrecked at the end of it. As I say, the last time I done a 10k, I felt like I was having to really push myself to get through it, and I felt wasted. I didn't feel like I could do anything. And whereas I've came in now and I've done a bit of housework, I've put some washing away, I've been moving around, I'm going to go and walk the dogs. My legs feel okay, they feel good. I feel like I've still got a lot left. I feel like I could go back out and run again. I didn't feel like that last time. I felt like I had to come in and sit down last time because I was done. I definitely don't feel like that this time. So there's a lot of positives to take away from this. So yeah, that's my long run for this week. Two left to go, and then it'll be the main event. So yeah, watch this space. So if you haven't already done so, if you're enjoying this series and you haven't already done so, make sure you like this video first and foremost. It's the very least you can do, man. I'm putting myself through a lot of agony. Do you know what? I'm saying that I'm putting myself through agony. I'm going to be honest, man. Running's never been a thing that I've enjoyed. However, today I thoroughly enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. It was pouring down. It was coming in sideways. It was windy. I could see people looking at me like I'd lost the plot. But man, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good run. I felt like everything was going well. It felt really good. So yeah, I actually enjoyed that. So drop this video a wee like if you're enjoying this series, and maybe even hit that subscribe button so you can see the next couple of videos as they come along. If you've not already watched the start of the series, maybe go back and watch that so you can see what my prep's looking like kind of leading up to the event. And then at the end, I'm going to do a full debrief, let you know what I feel went well and what I feel like I need to work on for next year. Because like I say, I think I mentioned this at the very start of the series, my goal for this half marathon is just to finish. That's my goal. I've got three objectives. Gold medal is to come in around about 2 hours. Silver medal will be about 2.5 hours. Bronze medal is just to finish the frickin' race. So I'm fairly confident I'm going to surpass the bronze, and I might get in between the gold and the silver. That's kind of where I'm aiming for. But for this time, those are my only objectives. Next year, I want to kind of try and continue this kind of training and do another couple of half marathons, potentially a couple of marathons, and then who knows where I'll kind of take it from there. But yeah, so I am enjoying the journey. Hopefully you're enjoying the journey of watching what I'm doing. If you are, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.